Welcome to African Global Insights, where we explore global events through an African geopolitical lens. We connect the dots and cut through the noise to provide a pathway to solutions through greater understanding. Let's get to it. On April 3rd, the foreign ministers of the Alliance of Sahel States, or AES, met with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov in Moscow. Following this event, the Minister of Foreign Affairs for Niger, Bakary Yaou Sangare, granted an exclusive interview to Russia Today, or what's normally called just RT, or I know it as RT. In that interview, he discussed the country's withdrawal from Ecowas, the formation of the AES, and fruitful bilateral relations with Russia. This was a very informative interview, and I'd like to analyze a few of the important points from the interview. Let's first dive into the relation between the AES and Russia. We all know that the ties and cooperation between the AES countries and Russia has been growing stronger over time. Bakary Yaou Sangare said the following: Russia is an important partner with which each of the countries individually has a bilateral relationship. After expressing gratitude for the opportunity to attend the event, Bakary discussed the AES relationship with Russia. When we created the AES, it was the first country that 1 week later recognized the Confederation. We are convinced that with Russia by our side, we will achieve wonders. The minister emphasized that Russia supported them during the most difficult times and, in return, does not impose its views or force us to align behind it. This is important because this speaks to having a mutually respectable relationship and a mutually beneficial relationship where one party doesn't expect the other party to follow their views and align with them 100% in order for them to have the relationship or do business. Russia supported us when we needed support. Sangare recalled an incident at the UN with the Russian ambassador. Right after the coup, there was a United Nations General Assembly. I was an ambassador there, and we were prevented from accessing the hall. The first ambassador I visited in New York was the Russian ambassador. He welcomed me and gave me advice. At the same time, the minister assured that when Russia requests support and the AES countries provide it, it is because they are convinced that is what needs to be done, and it is in the interest of the member countries. We have come a long way with Russia, and so far, everything has been going well, and we believe the best is yet to come. The immense natural resources that the AES countries possesses has, of course, been the focal point of the Western nations as it relates to the Sahel region. France, in particular, has been exploring the region and siphoning its resources for their own gain and without proper compensation, as we all now know. What has not been known, however, is that the abundance of the unmined resources still available in the ground in these countries was never disclosed to the respective governments of the AES countries. Sangare stated that the AES countries possess wealth that the West has prevented them from utilizing. None of these countries have the wealth that we have. They know it, and if today our populations have not benefited from this wealth, it is precisely because we remain under the control of Westerners who, at the very least, didn't even want us to know what our subsoil contains. The AES now has the opportunity to ensure its populations benefit from these resources. Bakary also states that it is unjust that countries like Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso have people dying due to a lack of aspirin or that we are forced to beg for malaria treatment. This is not normal. When asked whether the AES organization is ready to accept other countries, the minister highlighted specific conditions for membership. A country wishing to join the alliance must recognize justice and not allow itself to be influenced by Western countries that come only to distract and break the alliance. And you know why? Simply because we don't want to be infiltrated. These countries that resent us, the Western countries that suddenly want to destabilize us, have tried every means. So far, thank God, it hasn't worked. I created a video, which you can find here, which addresses the AES expansion and why they should be very cautious in doing so. And in my humble opinion, AES should make sure that any country at least has the following. Just my opinion. They must share a border with one or more of the existing AES countries, because it doesn't make sense to do countries further away. How would they protect Namibia, as an example? So you must share a border. Must not have a foreign military base in your country, especially Western countries. So no Western country military bases in your country. And really, it would have to be done on a case-by-case basis, I guess, if any other military is allowed a base on their country if they want to join AES. Another thing I think they should look for is it must be a Pan-Africanist government in deed and law, meaning in how they, in their relationship with other countries, and in law, which means their laws kind of reflect the same. And it must not be a member of Ecowas. And I think that should go without saying. It has been a little over a year since Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger withdrew from the Economic Community of West African States, or ECOWAS. The leaders of these states attributed this decision to the fact that the organization was not assisting them in the fight against terrorism and had strayed from the ideas of its founding fathers and Pan-Africanism, and had, in his words, become a threat to its member states and their populations, which is a very strong statement. I find it interesting that Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger stated very clearly the reasons for them leaving ECOWAS, and despite all the attempts to get them to come back, ECOWAS has not once addressed any of the issues that were clearly stated, at least not publicly. It's as if ECOWAS is saying, we are not going to seriously address any of the issues that you raised, but we still want you to come back anyway. Yeah, not gonna happen. So anyway, what do you think about the comments of the Nigerian foreign minister on the AES relationship with Russia, their potential regarding newfound natural resources, or the ongoing saga between the AES and ECOWAS? Please let us know in the comments section, and as always, I look forward to the conversation. I'm out.